Soto Nation, what's going down, guys? Whenever y'all get in, do me a favor and y'all hit that thumbs up. We are now starting a live panel. So for anybody that wants to join, all you have to do is shoot me an email at the sotoyadig@gmail.com and we can send you the link and you can hop on the panel. Let's see. I need to add these up and see what I got. Let me see. Barbara is in the building, says loud and clear. Good. CJ Gunn. Lando Carl Rizian. Boy, I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing that name. Got my guy Rick Rooster in the chat, and we also on the live panel, excuse me, and we also got my brother Jason Gunn on here as well. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
What's happening, DJ?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Trying out a new background. I almost had it kind of cool, but then I messed up Rick's face, so I said I got to change it back a little bit. I didn't want to be cutting him off.
Oh, man.
Yep. So, give me just a second here. I'm gonna probably start us off like we normally do. I'll play our intro song, and then for anybody else that's watching, like I say, if y'all want to come on, hop on the panel. This is an open panel night. I'll stay on here as long as you guys need me to, and we can get on here and chop it up. What's up, Unique Laura? What's up, Paul from H-Time holding it down. Let's see. Dre the Dream, what up? Lando Calrissian, what's going on? Matter of fact, I didn't even email out the show. What's going on, Eagles? Is me? You must not be a Star Wars fan, DJ. Landy. Oh, yeah, no. No, I'm not a Star Trek or Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Trek fan. What's up, Chorus 15? Chastity. Bodacious J, what up? Can you be on the panel? Yes. Shoot me an email at, hold on. Let me put my email address on the screen.
There we go.
That would probably help you guys a little bit, right? Yeah, bear with me just a moment. Let me put the email address out here for the new peoples. The Soto Yadig at gmail.com. Who is that?
That was me, DJ. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
It's cut off. We good.
Okay, I wasn't trying to put all your personal business out there, my man.
No, y'all they ain't gonna know about that talk. But I'm sorry. That's my bad.
All right. I'm just looking out for you, my brother.
I know, bro. I know. That's why I'm gonna turn it down.
So for let's see, for Bodacious J and Brielle, what's up, Brielle? Brielle, if you want to hop on here, hop on the panel, just shoot me an email and I'll add you in here. But do me a favor, do not give anybody my panel links. That is a violation of your probation. And that's gonna be a problem. So don't give my link out to people that I don't want here. Let's see. I think y'all can see that email address on the screen pretty good. Can y'all see that, Rick Rooster?
After the @Gmail part, if they can't get that, then I don't know. If they can't understand what @Gmail stands for, then
okay.
I mean, you can't see the doc. At least I can't. I'm not sure. Let me see.
Slide it over a little more.
Okay, never mind. That's
maybe I need to slide it up some more.
All right.
That should be a little more visible. Maybe I could put it at the top,
No, that's
I guess.
good. I see it.
So, sotoyadig@gmail.com. Abacus Beats, what's up? Lamarcus TV, what up? Kerry Rufo. This is Rick Rooster, man. This is the guy that sends me all of these awesome, beautiful love stories that come out of Chicago that I talk about every week. You know, all the brothers just loving each other and taking care of each other and nurturing each other out there in Chicago. Right?
Yeah. Ironically, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. Chicago, from what I see, a lot of positive change can happen. But, I mean, everybody knows that there's this perception on the news that the police are behind all of it. You know, the police are behind the bad and all that stuff. And then at the same time, they're being held accountable and they need to make a change, or they need to enforce all of these positive changes, but they're being handcuffed at the same time from doing anything. Because anytime they do anything, you know, it's like anytime they do anything, how can you say they might accidentally. I mean, police are human beings, so sometimes they might make a mistake. I'm not talking about the police shootings or anything like that, but a lot of times police are being labeled as like bullies or even racist or whatever, just for even questioning a possible suspect or whatever. And what I don't understand is like today's march. They're saying that change needs to happen, but why don't people, especially people with big platforms, understand that the change happens from within? You can't tell somebody else to fix your problems. You know, that's like a fat person blaming the McDonald's cook for making them fat and expecting the McDonald's cook to help them lose weight.
But you know, this is what they do. They do put that type of blame on them. They do. That's for sure.
You know, I mean, like it's ridiculous, and like I've been trying to like even I'm a very opinionated person, and not like I don't mean to be a prick or any kind of like negative person, but you know, I am a free thinker. You know, it's even facts that I don't like, I can't argue with them. You know, and there's other people that they have so much pride. You know, not just I don't mean just like in the black community, but I mean like, you know, even with my parents, I come from a Hispanic family. Both of my parents, they came here, they got their citizenship while I was in boot camp in the Marine Corps. And it's so weird because they never really talked about it when I was a kid. So when my dad told me I'm now a U.S. citizen, you know, and I'm like, it caught me off guard because I'm like, this whole time I'm thinking he was, but he had like a residency, you know what I mean? Like a visa type deal, me growing up. So when I found out everything that he did, you know, I was very proud. I was like, wow, you know, he did what he had to do and all of that stuff, and became a U.S. citizen the right way. And it's ridiculous though how long he had to wait. Now I get it. It's a really rough situation for people trying to get their citizenship. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because, you know, even though I come from a Hispanic family, I do believe in like, you know, right is right, you know, and I mean, the whole issue with the immigration, they're making it a really, really big deal. And it's, you know, it's becoming like a white people versus everybody, for white people versus black, white people versus Mexicans, white people versus any kind of minority. Now, ever since Trump became president, I'm not what you call a Trump supporter, but just like any person, just because you don't like somebody or don't respect somebody, sometimes they might have an idea that you agree with. You might not like the person, but you can respectfully agree with somebody without kissing their ass, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
You know, like, and whether people like it or not, regardless of how you feel about him, he is our president. And if you're just one of those people that are trying to, if you're just one of those people that like, you know, it's like wanting him to fail is like wanting the pilot to crash the plane that you're on. You know,
I
and
100% agree.
and one of the things in Chicago that he was talking about was sending in the National Guard for pretty much to help with the gun violence. And I think I made a comment about that in the video you just talked about, you know, regarding this protest. Like, that was a solution. I mean, I inevitably, I think in the future, I see that happening in the Trump presidency or maybe within the next presidency. It doesn't matter who's president. The violence is still going to be here. And I think eventually it's going to be bad to the point where some form of like martial law is going to happen. Not like in the movies where there's going to be soldiers on the streets with machine guns telling people to go to their homes or they're going to be put locked up. But I believe that in the future there could be some kind of like some citywide curfew, no matter what race you are, what neighborhood you're from. If you're out after a certain time, it's going to be considered like a misdemeanor, even if you're an adult. You know, like how the curfew law for minors. I think something like that could be enforced in the future because a lot of this crime happens at night. You know, there's so many different crimes that happen in Chicago, but one of the biggest ones that have been going on lately that have been on the news, especially these carjackings. I don't know if you caught that comment I said, but a couple of weeks ago there was like a big spike in carjackings. It was to the point where this kid even carjacked an undercover cop in his car. And
Oh,
that
really?
kid,
Wow.
this kid was released like 2 days later. And when the authorities asked why was this kid released, there was no comment. Now, there was this speculation going on. This is what bothers the crap out of me, is that these criminals nowadays, they're smart. They're not just dumb, you know, these people committing these crimes. they're not just blind to the law. They know the loopholes. One of the loopholes in Chicago, at least, when you get caught carjacking, if you straight like if I took your car, if you were a resident of Chicago, I ran up to you with a gun, forced you out of your car, you know, did the typical carjacking thing, and I took off. You call the cops, and the cops catch me. As long as I don't have that gun on me, and there's no video proof of me carjacking you, all I gotta say is I didn't know the car was stolen. My homie let me borrow it. You know, like somewhere along those lines, and they couldn't fully just charge you with carjacking. So now it turns into the victim has to prove that he was carjacked by that individual. You know, and it's like there was a loophole with where when you get caught, you have to specifically say that it wasn't me. I borrowed it. I mean, you can look it up. I'm not lying. It was a couple of months ago when that carjacking happened, and that cop shot at him, and he still got out of jail, and that was ridiculous. I was like, oh my goodness, they stole a car directly from an undercover cop. You know, I mean, how do you get away with that? You know.
All right, do me a favor. Hold on, just a moment. So this is the way we're gonna do this. So for everybody that hasn't been on the Soto Yadig before and never had it done a panel before, this is the way we're gonna do it. I sent the link out to the people that emailed me. Had more people email me than I thought. So to Brielle, to Josh, to LaMarcus, Bodacious, to anybody else that emailed me, I've sent you guys a link. All you have to do is just click that link and click the video icon, and it should bring you in. So right now I'm looking at got LaMarcus TV on, got Jason Gunn, got Rick Rooster. So Brielle, I got two of your emails, Brielle, and I'm pretty sure I sent you the right link, my brother. So Brielle, I'm gonna need you to hop on here, sir. I'm almost positive I sent you the right link because everybody else is on here. I sent them the same link. Did you guys have any difficulty hopping on the panel?
Just had download Google Hangout for the first time.
Yeah, me too, right? I'm like, Google, I gotta download Google Hangouts. I think I got an iPhone too. I was like, man, am I gonna have any issues? But whatever. I guess it worked out.
Okay.
iPhone Nation, fuck Android.
Right? Man.
Oh my goodness. Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Who is that?
Bodacious J.
Hey, it's nice to finally have a young woman on the panel, man. Like we've been just like sausage fest for like months.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so it is awesome to have a young lady on the panel. I'd like to thank you. I think this is your first time on my panel, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's a pleasure. Let me see. Let me go down the list here. I want everybody to kind of introduce themselves. You know, are you guys familiar with the platform? Are you familiar with Tommy and all of that good stuff? So, if you would keep it concise, that way we can introduce everybody to everyone that is watching. We got about 72 people watching. If you guys want the link, do as everybody else did. Just shoot me an email, and you should be able to get on here. Rick Rooster, you want to let them know who you are or what your name is in the chat? You don't have to give them your real name. Like, just give them your name in the chat. And let them know how long you've been watching. What do you know about Tommy? What you know about me, or whatever you want to do.
All right. I'm Rick Rooster. I'll be honest with you. I found your channel pretty much in the suggestion comments when I used to watch Tommy for like, I want to say the past 3.5 years. The first video that I saw from him, that was like, I don't know if you saw my video a while back, but there was a time when Tommy back in the day, he would, most of his delivery in any of his videos, he was pretty like direct and everything. And I think lately he's been kind of like easing up on his delivery, on sending his message and everything. And he's getting a better turnout, but I've been watching him for like about 3 years now. And then I got turned on, I got turned on to you and what's it called? Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely agree with, you know, the message that both of your channels are trying to send out there. It's, you know, it's just trying to raise an awareness of just the issues that are going on today, and hopefully, like, I mean, who knows how long in the future, but hopefully, some positive change can come from all of this, you know. And it it starts with a really brave set of people, few people, and you and Tommy, it looks like you guys are leading the way, man. So, power to you, man.
All right, good deal. Let's see. Let's go to Marcus TV. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro? I've been listening to I've been listening to Tommy for like 5 years, and I started listening to you about like 6 months ago. And I gotta say, man, you're a fucking awesome ass host, dude. Because last guy, I wasn't even watching this shit. I wasn't watching the You Dig with the last dude on. You made this shit awesome, bro.
Oh man, appreciate that. Like I said, I don't know what it is about people in that particular area. Okay, look, let me stop. Y'all gonna give me a troll because I know I want to poke at that fool, but I'm not gonna do it tonight.
I forget the dude's name, man. Shit, I don't know the dude's name. I just remember I didn't watch him like that.
You say you don't know his name?
I don't remember his name.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Let's video. I said I don't want to watch this shit.
Okay, good. That's what I like to hear. Let's keep going.
Watch the show too.
Sorry, I just feel like being a little bit of a butthole tonight. Let's see, Josh. Josh, you want to introduce yourself?
I've been listening to Tommy for over 5 years now.
We heard what
And,
you
What's that?
Oh, bodacious. Like whenever you
talk to me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you talk to somebody else, you just got to hit your mute button so that way we don't, because we hear everything that's going on in your background. So you just got to hit the mute button until you're ready to
I'm
go.
sorry.
Okay.
I took the dog out my room.
Oh, okay, no problem, no worries. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
All right. So I've been listening to Tommy for over 5 years now, and I found the Soto Yadig DJ Just Jay from actually Tommy. So I've been agreeing with everything that Tommy has been saying, despite the fact I've been listening to him ever since I was a teenager. So
wow, nice.
Yep.
It's pretty dope, man. Let's keep going. Brother Jason Gunn, you want to let them know who you are?
I'm Jason Gunn. I was forced to be here by several mods, so I'm here. No, I'm just playing. Love being on the show. This is all about truth and real time, real life stuff that's happening to all of us most of the time. And the work starts in the house. It starts in the house. It don't start in nobody's office. It starts in the house when you're raising your children or your family. And that's where we need to start all this, problem solving is at the house. And I leave that for there right now.
Okay, good deal. Brielle, you want to let them know who you are?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name Brielle. I started listening to Tommy about end of 2014, especially in 2015. Been here for a while. I'm just a young man trying to improve my life. Listening to some of the advice that Tommy gives helped me with that. Listening to the Soto Yadig helped me with that too. And thank you for being the host. I think that you are a great role model as far as what I know how you present yourself on here. So I'm just here to add to the panel anything positive or anything intelligent logically that I could add.
Yeah, good deal, man. Appreciate that, Brielle, because it is something I do want to talk to you about here in just a moment. But last but not least, Bodacious from the chat. You want to let them know who you are, how long you've been watching, what do you know about Tommy and the Soto Yadig?
Hi, everyone. I've been listening to Tommy about 6 years now. And honestly, I love Tommy. I might not like everything he say, and I do love him. Sad but true. I just discovered this Soto Yadig, and ever since I've been listening, if I don't like the commentary, I just turn it off. I go on my own way, but I do come back the next day.
Cool. That's all I ask, man. It's just for people to keep an open mind, so I could definitely appreciate that for sure. So it's an absolute honor. And like I say, all my whole intention is to not have everybody, agree with what I say, of course, because like I say, what we do is we have a group of people out there that say that anything we say, people just go with. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's been plenty of times, even people on this panel know that I can't name how many times that we've actually gone against each other's points. We've debated each other's points. We just agreed to disagree with each other's points. We don't agree on everything, you know, and that's part of the growing
Right.
process is for us to take things that are factual
Right.
and to just be able to go off of truth, logic, and facts. You know what I'm saying? So if we commune in truth, logic, and facts, a lot of times we're going to find a lot of things that we agree on.
Mhm.
So
That's
Exactly.
true. That's true, DJ.
So yeah, more than anything, this is just an open panel. I don't want to make it like, you know, too serious or anything. Like one of the things I used to hate was like when people make like a bunch of sexual references and stuff like that. And
Oh.
hey, you know, I want to do this and do that. Nah, nah, nah.
Oh.
Like if we can keep it on a level of let's talk about like some real shit. Like I say, you don't have to
Yes.
have too much of a filter here. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you
I get what
guys.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
we're
people
going
could
to
take
see
the
that.
show serious and learn
Right.
from it, which is what we've been trying to do this whole time.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Mhm. Can I go ahead and just ask a serious question? Being that from the looks of just from who I see right here, I see I kind of like I'm a different complexion than everybody else on this screen. But I want to ask a serious question. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's a subject that Soto and that DJ and Tommy bring up. Is uh like you just said a little while ago. It starts in the home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And one of the big issues I think that starts off this trend is, like you said, like fatherless homes. Out of
Yeah.
at least the people that are on the screen, you know. And again, I mean no disrespect by asking this, but it's just just to kind of put it out there. How many people do you know, like in your family or even yourself, that come from fatherless homes, but can still be a productive member of society without having to, like, I guess, have a chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, I think it is possible
Yes.
for single parents to still raise a great child.
Yeah.
I don't think just because you come from a single home, whether you just have a dad or you just have a mom, or sometimes in a lot of cases you got neither. You got a foster family or you stay with grandma for whatever reasons. I mean, how much of an impact does it make really on the person to live uh, I
A
guess you could say a
tradition
productive life
like a
without having
traditional
that mother and father in your life.
like as
Um,
far as traditional, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead, Bodacious. What do you think?
My parents were married,
Hmm.
but when I was like 15, they got divorced, and I went with my dad. Long story short, I went back with my mom, and my mom was a wonderful mom. You know, as
Yeah.
of right now, I do have 3 children, and I am still like, if you would say black girl stereotypical, each of my children I have 3 different baby fathers,
Hmm.
Hmm.
you know? My son's father is dead.
Aw.
My oldest daughter, she's grown, and my youngest daughter, I let her go with her dad.
Hmm.
Hmm. Ah.
So I raised her for 11 years, and me and him always talked about her living with him. We co-parented, for a very long time. But at this moment in her life, I feel like she needs her dad just as much as she needs me. So I'm not very stereotypical.
Hmm.
But if you was to say if I am, I was born into a married family.
Yeah. Now, for your daughter that's with her father, you're still a part of her life, though, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
she's
hey,
in
I mean,
another room
absolutely.
right now listening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because what
hey, Rick, can you speak up a
and
little
and
bit, bro?
that's
Rick, speak up a little bit because I don't know for some reason your mic is really low.
okay.
And
No, no.
I'm gonna let everyone know she loves Tommy.
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
absolutely. See, I mean, like, and that's, because I mean, let's be real, and I mean, we're human beings. So even just because you have a
Yes.
kid with somebody, it doesn't mean that you're locked with that person for life. So if, God
Right.
forbid, something happens and the adults can't get along, I feel that, like, it makes the child's childhood worse
Messed
when they
up.
try to stay together and fight all the time. if you can come to a mature agreement and separate, and one child goes with whoever, but the other person is still inserted in that child's life,
Mm-hmm.
that's still a very positive thing, that you're both parents are still doing right by that child, because they're actually making the sacrifice of splitting up, because whether you like it or not, splitting up after you have a child, it's a sacrifice that's being made on the family. But as long as everybody is civil about it, and the child is, gets to an age where they understand what happens, I mean, I think that makes a big difference, and that's great. And I applaud you for that, for still being, because some people, man, I'm not gonna lie, I know of some people that when they split up, I got a friend in the Marines that I kind of made a comment about it, and 'cause he divorced his wife, the child stayed with the mom, and he hardly talks to his kid anymore, and I'm like,
Wow.
that's kind of cold, man. I mean, he'll like he'll see her like on birthdays and all that though, but he's not really inserted in his child's life. His child's a teenager now, but I you know I'm pretty happy that the mom's got a good head on her shoulders, so it's not like she's in a messed up home. But I think it is important for children to have the presence, if not of the biological father, or if not the presence of both parents, at least the presence of somebody stepping in to fill that void. If somebody can't have a good father and that father leaves, but somebody else comes in and do that person's job, that child has a stronger future, just because there's that stability in the household.
Okay. Well,
Can I say something?
go ahead. Yep.
My son, he's biracial.
Hmm.
So I wasn't like, I live here in Cleveland. So it's your skin complexion didn't throw me off.
What do you
So
mean?
by my son being biracial, um, and I grew up, no lie, both in the hood and in the suburbs. So I've seen a lot of what went on in both. And I chose to raise my kids a certain way. Because, like I said, my mom was a damn good mom.
Hmm.
We just chose our own decisions. She raised us to choose what we chose to do in life. But in the end, you always gonna make your own decision.
Hmm.
So I do get mad at a lot of stuff with a lot of women. And it's like some stuff I might not get too mad about, but a lot of stuff in this day and society I do. Because I got two girls and I got a teenage son. So yeah, you do need more than one parent because it's hard. You can't
Hmm.
have
Yes.
a young lady out here and I'm telling her to act one way in the streets, be decent in the streets. You're a lady. I don't bring anything home. I don't do anything around her because everyone knows whatever your girls see, they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Children are
Sorry.
sponges. They're
Hey,
sponges.
do
They
me a
suck up
favor.
everything
Right.
they see.
Hold on. Do me a favor. Who has the TV running in the background?
Mm.
It's not me.
Tell me.
Okay,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was probably me.
Yeah,
My
like
bad.
like whenever we do the panels, that's one of them kind of things you just have to kind of be aware of. Like, make sure you're not watching the show in the background, as far as like with the audio, and then make sure you don't got a TV on because we can hear everything. Who else?
Oh,
Who else wants to
I
chime in?
sent the show to the other side of the house.
All right, we got Abacus on. What's up, Abacus? Let's
Yeah, I
see.
was like, neat. Can I say something?
Oh yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, what we want to do is we
Mhm.
want to share.
Yeah.
We want to share the platform because we got almost a full panel. So let's keep our
Awesome.
comments concise. Go ahead, Lamarcus.
Awesome. Well, I was raised mainly by my grandparents on my mom's side. I love my parents, don't get me wrong, but they were kind of irresponsible. But that two-parent household thing you're talking about, that's 100% right there. Because my grandparents molded me to I'm a hardworking ass dude. Like I don't really do anything unless I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? So
You got to
like
nowadays.
yeah. So basically, man, it's like plus I got no kids right now because I'm irresponsible as hell, so I need money for them to be irresponsible.
Mhm.
But yeah, but yeah, that two-parent household because they taught me to all I do is work all the time. Provide for myself, take care of myself, and I guess that's what you get from a two-parent household, seeing someone work hard as hell. having a man mold you. Like my grandpa, he's an army guy, so he molded me like I was in the army when I was a little kid. So I know got discipline, all that good stuff. So I agree with the whole 2-parent household thing, though. And that was it.
I have a question.
Yo, did I say something? Can I get in?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Go ahead, Brio.
All right. So to answer your question, is it hard to make a great person out of somebody in a single parent household? I was raised in the house with my mother and my grandparents, which is her parents, my grandfather and grandmother. Um, I just I was able to see my grandfather strive to be a good man, and that's what I wanted to be. Even though when I got to like my rebellious stage, as a teenager, he was like elderly, like his upper 70s then. Um, but just watching him be an example is what made me want to be a good dude because I looked up to him. Um, I I played around in the streets because I was lost. Kind of like I say, he was elderly when I got to my rebellious stage. But what he did always stuck in my mind. Um, I learned a lot of bad behaviors from my mother. My mother was in and out of jail all my life. Um, my father, I always knew who he was, but he never was around. Matter of fact, when I was about 22, 23 years old, he was working on one of the gas stations around the corner from my house, and he'd come over during lunchtime, and I'd give him something to eat. This was around at the time my grandfather had passed. But I was kind of upset at him, like, dude, you know how to install gas pumps at the gas station. I'm your son, and I don't know none of this. Everything that my father know how to do, as far as like skills, my father was a Marine.
Simplified.
So
Okay.
everything that my father know how to do as a man and work skills, he could have gave to us. But instead, he left about 5 or 6 children, maybe more,
Oh wow.
to and created a lot of single mothers. So,
Yeah.
but what made me strive, like right now, I got a daughter that'll be here next month, and from the time that I was with my girlfriend, and then she told me that she was pregnant, like I accomplished so much real quick. Finally got my license, finally got my GED, finally got my first car. Um, just because I fear being a deadbeat father. Besides, my grandfather was a good man. Like he helped my sister go to college. She had to pay like $500-600 every month for her to go to Ohio State until she bought her grades up and made the dean's list. My sister, she well off now. We had different fathers. My mother was in a relationship with her father. Um, so just to get to the point though and make it short, I had something in me that wanted to be great, and I had my grandfather was a great man, and that's why I try to improve myself and my behaviors and everything every day because I now have a little one to raise. So is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but um, the the likeliness of it is it just depends on the parent and what examples and what the person got around them. You-
Okay, let me
That was
see. Do me a favor. Let's take a pause real quick. I want to let Josh be able to talk, then my brother Jason, and then my brother Abacus. So let's start with Josh. Go ahead, Josh. What do you think so far?
First off, I want to say that I was raised in a single parent household. Um, however, I one of my favorite male figures was actually a social studies teacher at a middle school, and he taught me how to be self accountable. He taught me how to. He actually made me to a conservative, to be honest with you. And going to the question, it's possible, and as the other guy said before, it just depends on the parent. Now, when it comes down to my mother, she was a great. She wasn't the great, but she tried her best because I'm not one of those type of guys that like, well, my mom was mama and daddy. No, that's kind of bull. That's kind of bullcrap to me. So I said my mom was the best mom. Now, yes, I do
I
know who
like
my
that. I
dad
like that.
is.
Wait. Can you say that? Can you say that again? Say that one more
Repeat
time.
that.
I said that most people would like to say my mama was mama and daddy. I said no, that's complete bullcrap to me. So
You said
um,
my mom was what?
my mom was the best she could be. She wasn't mama and daddy. She can only be mama.
Thank
So,
you. I love that. She was a good parent. I like that. I like that.
so but I do know who my dad is. He's actually a pastor.
Ooh.
However, but um, my mom doesn't hate him. She just doesn't like him because he did do her wrong. So um, uh, I'm 20 years old, and I tried to be a best person every day because you only can take it one. You can only take it one by one as a man, and and thank God I don't have any kids. Thank God. um, I'm in community college right now. Still a little bit messed up about what I want to major in, but to answer the question, it's possible, but it depends on that parent himself, and I try to be the best person I can be without the so-called male influence.
Could
I do
I add?
that.
Could I add something real quick?
Go ahead.
I think when me and you say it depends on the parent and stuff, if it's a single parent in the projects and they got no plan on getting out the projects, it's a
Mhm.
higher chance that that kid gonna be lost versus somebody that's a single parent but they keep on bettering themselves and they might not go to school but
That
they
was my
start their
mom.
young business and they start flourishing. But
Absolutely.
when it
Mhm.
depends on the parent, it depends on what's in the parent and what the parent trying to.
Yeah, I have something to add though. I'm a Chicago native. But I
Very
moved to
interesting.
Champaign,
Okay.
Champaign, of April 2010, and ever since then, things got a little bit better. My chances of going to college was more higher than it was in Chicago, and I really and if it wasn't for my mother wanting to move out of Chicago, I think I'll probably be dead. Sadly,
Doesn't Tommy always bring that up though? Like,
he does.
every time something happens,
Mhm.
man. That's a good. Your mom is a really good example of what Tommy says that people, responsible parents should do.
Move.
Because there's always these stories about these women that get killed in the neighborhood, and they're a mother of X amount of kids, or a story of a mother who lost, a kid, and to due to gang violence or gun violence or
Yeah,
whatever it is,
yeah.
and
There
it's
was a
always in a
mom.
messed up neighborhood.
Yeah, there was a mom in Chicago that
Uh-huh.
that lost 5 of her sons, and
Uh,
she
What?
still remained in that neighborhood,
Yep.
yeah.
and it's messed up. But um, I really thank my mom for that one. That one.
Yeah.
She still
Good for
struggles
her
till this
and you.
day. She
Yeah.
she still struggles in a way till this day, but she can only um she can only take it one day at a time, and I can only take it one day at a time.
But
So
it's better than living in Chicago and losing at least one of your sons, though.
Mm.
yeah,
Maybe that's my thinking because I wouldn't even want to lose one of my children.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, my kids, my oldest is 21, my youngest is 11.
Wow.
My kids are spread out. Only got three and only got one son. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I'm
Yes.
trying at this moment everything I can to save him. So I wouldn't even want to lose one. If you have five and you lose all five,
She lost 5.
that'll do something to you, not only physically, but like mentally.
I
And
mean,
that's hard.
5 is a lot, but just out of
It is.
curiosity, 5 out of how many kids?
Shit, 5 out
Yeah,
of 9.
that is a good
No, she had 5
question.
out of. No, she had all 5
I mean,
children.
also her, so
Five
all
out of
She
so
five?
lost
not so not
basically her
5
whole
out of
children.
so pretty
She
much
had like
all
4.
5 kids. Like she got no more kids now.
I don't think so.
I think there was a
I
story.
hope
I
she
think there
doesn't.
was.
You
A,
can
I
look
mean,
the story up.
I
You can
think.
look the story up.
Yeah, I
I
think there
think
was a
it
story
happened, I
like
think,
that.
in
I mean, that's
2013.
ridiculous. If she lost 5 kids to gun violence or gang violence or anything like that,
all to gang violence.
That's neglect right there. Like that should be a crime, pretty much.
I agree.
It should be.
I mean, I know this sounds kind of weird. I'm not trying to compare humans to animals, but I mean, like, don't you go to jail for neglecting? Like you got people who neglect their
pet.
they neglect their pets and they go to jail.
Oh my goodness.
Or you go to jail for neglecting your kid by leaving them in the car and it's too hot. You done had 5 kids and lost them all the same way. Like, I'm not assuming. I mean, if she did lose them to gang violence or shootings or pretty much just because she was in that messed up neighborhood, she should go to jail. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not being mean about it, but come to Cleveland, if they was dogs, she'll be in jail right now for 5 felonies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Dick Goddard law, 5 felonies.
They love their dogs.
Hold on, you get felonies in Cleveland for neglecting your dog.
The Dick Goddard law.
Wow.
If you mistreat your animals, you will get a felony.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Cleveland too, but I don't mistreat animals, and I ain't got nothing to mistreat.
No, my dog's good. He's passed out. Had a good day.
Hey, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and keep this thing rocking. Abacus, you want to go ahead and chime in, brother?
Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's been a while since I've been here. What up, Jay?
Hey, what up? What up?
Me personally, I am the perfect example of it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my mom, I had my pops. My pops was like real bad, on the drugs and alcohol when I was young. But he was around, and I grew up around my family. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, Chicago native too, and I had to deal with a lot of stuff, gang banging and stuff like that, but I was one of the ones that was lucky because even though I was out doing my thing, doing shit I shouldn't have done and gang banging and shit, the hood actually took care of me. Because I had good grades. I was in school, I was doing what I was supposed to do. They be like, no, man, no, we no, get off the block, go, And I always had, but I was always the one that always had that, man, hey, man, he got to go home. Hey, he got to go home. His mom's going to check on him. But now, these days, man, I don't know what's up with Chicago, but it's just crazy. But I told people, like somebody asked me the other day, like a while back, it said, what's the issues in Chicago? And I told them three simple things. It was kind of long, but I just try to break it down. I was like, one, and it's just me because I say shit that people scared to say. One, they tore down the projects too fast.
Huh?
Why you think I say that? This is why.
You talking about the Cabrini Green project?
All the projects.
All okay.
Mm-hmm.
From Cabrini Green, Ida B. Wells, Rockwell Horners, all of them. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody know in Chicago that the projects was its own community. Yep. Now, you know why this stuff in Chicago is so hot right now? Because you had those guys from the projects. Now they got to go on the blocks where I grew up, and I grew up on the blocks. I didn't grow up in the projects, but now they got to go on the blocks and try to fit in and get their money.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So now you got these guys from the projects. That's just one thing alone. You got then another thing with these school closings. Yes. Now you got these cats closing the schools. Because even my school is, I went to Emmett back in the day. It was up on Madison and Central. I went to Emmett. Emmett is closed. Now you got these kids that are from a certain area going into another area. Why you think that stuff that jumped off with Darion Albert happened? Because you got them guys from Altgeld Gardens. You got the guys from over there by Finger beefing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And these city politicians don't think about that. And number two, have y'all realized in Chicago that you starting to see white people in places that you've never seen them before?
Yes,
it's called gentrification.
Gentrification, dude. Yeah.
Gentrification, real hard. Matter of fact, I can say my uncle used to live on Washington and Western. He had a white person that stayed next door to him.
Wow,
you would have never seen that back in the day.
It's like they buy out the old crap and they move in. They old stuff.
It's it's the system. It's the system. All they trying to do is remember how back in the day you had the white people that was living out of Oak Park, Maywood, and further back Broadview, all back there, all the way back there towards Manheim. Now they want the city back. They tired of driving that far to go into the city. They tired of driving that far to go in downtown. People don't see that. So what they doing right now? They allowed this to happen because if you go up north, you don't see that shit.
No.
I graduated from Sen High School. You don't see that shit. I mean, I left the city. It was about money. Now I left. I graduated. I went to the Army. I served for 22 years. I retired. 2 tours.
Thank you for your service,
my man.
And I always come whenever I come home. I always try to go to one of the mentoring things and just try to talk to the kids and be like, this is what they want y'all to do. They want y'all to beef. They want y'all to fight each other because then there ain't gonna be none of y'all left, and they can just come in and take the whole hood over.
That's true.
You got these buildings and you got these communities out here. They can come over here and buy. And like, why you think I say, do you know why they put the Arabs in there? Do you know why they put the Koreans in there? Because they don't want y'all to have these. They don't want y'all to have these businesses. They don't want y'all to grow up and have something to aspire. Because when I was a kid, you had black-owned businesses. I walk down Madison Street. You go to Max Records or MacArthur's now. You know, you go in there. You could hit a couple of grocery stores where it was black-owned, and you could be like, man, when I grow up, I could come and own a store like this, or I could do this. You can't do that shit these days.
Right.
And now you just got these kids out here lost because in my aspect, when I was the kid, you had the Mayor Daily job program, summer jobs. These kids can't get no jobs. They ain't got no. You remember if you from Chicago, you used to be able to hang in the park, used to go swimming. You used to be able to get on the city
sewer to sewer football on the street.
Exactly. You'd be able to play in the street. You had the kids. You could go up to the park. You could be on the park basketball team. They always had some cracking off at the park. But nowadays you can't even do that no more because they always say, "Well, we ain't got no money for these programs no more."
Hey,
I have something to add though.
Hey, let me get in real quick and speak on that. As far as the kids ain't got nothing to do. Right now, currently, I'm working with one of the state representatives in Ohio to build a trade program to bring the trades back to the schools. Not just like to the schools, but to like the community. Because right now in Cleveland, it's a bunch of houses that I believe could be fixed up, but the community, the men in the community lack the skills to fix them up. Like if these same houses was in the Amish community, the neighborhood wouldn't look like this because Amish men have the skills to build up. See, the thing is, in these single mother households, is a woman wasn't made to build no structure. A woman wasn't made to chop no wood, put no roof on, do no drywall. A woman wasn't made for that. So she can't teach her sons how to do any drywall, any plumbing, electrician, and roofing, and all that type of stuff. Doing these side
Woman
or
can't
paint.
teach a child how to do manly work.
Can I say something?
Yep.
I'm not saying it's. Hold on. Let me finish real quick. Sweetheart. You cut me off. So, So that's kind of what my plan is, and I'm working on that currently right now in order to change that around because, like you said, it ain't no jobs. I can look on my street right now in the community, and there's plenty of things to do. Just making the community look nice, and restoring it would bring value, make the school system better because the school systems is based off the property tax. And it's just a lot. But that's what I wanted to say. It's always something to do. And that's what my dream is, man. To
And you know
bring
what?
these and make it a cultural
Go ahead,
thing like the Amish, man. Go ahead, Baudacious.
Because I do live in Cleveland. I lived on the west side of Cleveland, and I just moved to Cleveland Heights. So I can honestly comment on our city. The thing about it is this: a lot of these women in the city of Cleveland isn't trying to teach their sons anything except dope dealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same programs he's trying to bring into the city. Oh, them women isn't trying to get their sons to come to. You're gonna
Like
see
every
more
shit.
men bringing their sons down than these women, because a lot of women only want their sons to do one thing, and that's to bring and that is to bring quick money into the household.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
where I
get
was
rich
going,
quick scene.
and that's where I was
Right.
going with that. And speaking from a gangbanger's point of mind, the
Mm-hmm.
necessary evil in Chicago was when all the Chiefs was out. And this is why I say that. You know why
Right.
you got these big problems right now? These cats, these shorties is out here killing each other because they ain't got no leadership out there no more.
They don't.
And nowadays, if
At
the Chiefs was
all.
and if the Chiefs was out now, they couldn't hold them because they wouldn't honor them no more.
Right.
So now you have all these little cliques like the Crazy Boy clique or the Polo Boy clique or something like this, or just cliques. So now the police is fucked off because they can't go and hit. They can't go talk to one person in the community that said, "Hey, I got this." Because even when I was out doing my thing back in the day, wasn't no shorties getting killed. It was just the same thing as the Wire. They wasn't killing off no taxpayers. If
You
you
know
was in
what?
the
Right.
game, you
It
was the
is.
only one getting got.
It is different.
Everyone's
It's
scared.
it's so weird. I noticed the same thing. I mean, like I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was a troublemaker myself when I was a kid. I ran with a crew and everything. And one thing that I did notice, I'm 36 years old. I don't have no children or anything like that, but I consider myself a pretty mature adult, and I learned from the hard lessons of life. But I did notice that when I was a kid, as immature as I was back then, as troublesome as I was back then, there's one thing that my clique never did, and I'm not trying to give a how to on how to be a good Doug or whatever you want to call it, but pretty much there was like this notion that you don't crap where you stay. Like our neighbors, like
Mm-hmm.
in my neighborhood, it was our neighborhood that we represented our neighborhood. Our neighbors weren't scared of us
Yeah,
as
it was
far as
honor.
like
You had
they
honor.
knew that. I mean,
Oh
I mean, I'm
yeah.
not trying to say that we were like a police department for the neighborhood, but our neighbors didn't have to worry about us pickpocketing them or robbing their cars or breaking into their homes. And
Mm-hmm.
lately, there have been issues like today since I was in the Marine Corps for 12 years. So I left in 2001. I came back in 2012. There were so many changes, and it's weird. Two times, because I moved back to the same block that I grew up on. Two times, two separate neighbors on on my block got burglarized by
Oh,
fellow neighbors by thugs from our own set, I guess if you want to call it, from the set from my neighborhood. And when I found out about it, I went to go talk to a couple of people from them. I'm like, yo, what the hell? What are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, is this the way it is now? You rob your own people, you rob your own neighborhood, and then when that happened, I get a gun pulled out on me, telling me, I need to learn my place. I'm not in it anymore, so I need to stay out of it. And I'm like, okay, if you want to go that route, man, it's not going to end good for either of us. I'm just saying, what the hell are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know how it was for you guys, but you never, at least, I guess you could say we took care of our own neighborhood. But now it's like these thugs, and it's in a lot of neighborhoods, they're acting like tyrants in their own. They're terrorizing
yes.
their own neighborhood. Like,
We
did
would
you ever
never
see?
never
Like
terrorize.
everybody knows what gang is in their neighborhood. Isn't it ridiculous when you like pull into your garage, and then your garage door is tagged up by that gang from that neighborhood? Like,
It's
Could
it
I
doesn't make
could I speak
sense.
up real quick? Let me speak on that real quick, and I'm gonna just say it like this real quick. See, the thing is, breaking and entering, they do that here in Cleveland too, in their
Mm-hmm.
own neighborhood. And when your house get burglarized, 9 times out of 10, you already know it's somebody that you'd have let in your house. They seen what you got, and they know what they coming for when they come back to get it. That's
Mm-hmm.
number one. And number two is this: is no honor. And It's happening where you at. It's happening in California. It's happening in Cleveland. It's happening in New York. Wherever you go, breaking and entering is the thing that what these young dudes do, and that's how they get a lot of the guns too that circulate in the street. They're breaking your house and steal your gun, and I mean it's sad to say, but people that do that to their young people, that particular person really don't deserve to be here. I mean, like it's already bad enough that we going through genocide. Black people are. Um, then you gonna do it to your own people. You kind of really don't deserve to be here no more.
The system failed. The system failed the hood. The system failed the hood horribly. Because, like I said, now you got these guys out here that's growing up, and even go back to what Bodacious was talking about. Even the whole panel was talking about the single parent household thing. You got mama out here working. She can't get her shorty no Jordans. She can't afford that. So now what Shorty got to do? Shorty going to school getting ridiculed and talked about because he ain't wearing the hottest shit, or he ain't got the freshest cut, or he got to borrow clothes from his cousin just to look decent to go to school, so he won't get talked about. But what
But that's that instant gratification that we got as a people, which kind of play out in return as a curse to us. Because I mean, as a kid, you can't help what your parents provide, but as an adult, you can help what you provide. So, a lot of people as a kid, they got teased and stuff, and when they get older, they get them some type of degree, some type of trade, some type of skill, and they put their foot to it. And a lot of them people that was teasing in high school, as I realize now that I'm 31, a lot of them people were the same people that's in the streets getting shot, getting killed, and being the ones that's having all these multiple children and things that's going to jail and all that type of stuff. So I had a friend, he was a friend. He ain't the type of friend I hang with now. But when I was 19, I started working at Burger King, and this fool had the nerve to tell me, you smell like fries. You broke. You don't get nothing but $200 on Friday. And that was cool or whatever. I worked for mine. Man, about 6 months later, he did 5 years in jail. He came home for about 3 months, and now he doing another 10 years in jail. So while I still smell like French fries, you smell like prison and showers with men. So that's what I learned. That's what I learned not to get instant
Hey,
gratification.
Brielle, I love
Okay.
my little $200 I
You
got for the
smelling like
job
fresh
program.
fish.
It smells like booty shoot. Okay.
So
You got that
No,
booty shoot.
that's a real story. He used to tease me, and then he used to also beg me to bring in food and stuff. I say, dude, you can just go sign up for some food stamps. He was signing up for food stamps because of girls, and he like, the girls in there, they gonna see me, man. I'm like, dude, they get food stamps too. How you ashamed to go get? Man, at the end of the day, I'm doing much better than what he is in life, and he used to tease me about smelling like
I was gonna
fries and a
say,
burger.
hey, can I say something real quick? Because I know I had the chat jumping off. I missaid that when I said the system failed the hood. You're right. I meant the system ruined the hood. I just wanted to get that out there. I wasn't trying to say the system failed the hood because I don't like the system either.
Hey,
But I say the system ruined the hood. And just like Bo Bodacious said, now you got these kids out here and these mamas out here. I done seen it firsthand where these mamas is mad because their sons ain't out there selling dope.
Yes, I've seen it too.
Me too.
You better get out on that corner.
Or they'll try to make them into like a rap career, or they'll try to force them to play basketball. I was
Right.
like, what? I'm glad my mother didn't do that to me.
Case in point.
You know what? I realized a lot of children cannot no longer tell the real from the fake. And they're not being taught the real from the fake. So basically, a rap video is real to these children, but a war is fake. A real war is fake. You can go get killed right now. These children is not respecting you. But if you ride through here with some flashy ass car and some fake ass money, oh, everybody on it because that's what the kids is being taught.
Yeah.
Case in point.
And it's
Case in point. I'm work as a student ambassador at my college down here where I live at.
Nice.
I used to go to I go to a lot of the schools, elementary schools and middle schools and high schools around the area. I stay out here in Georgia. And I asked these kids, and it just hurt me because I was asking these kids what they wanted to be. You know, a couple of them had decent goals, but 90% of them, I want to be a rapper. I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a football player.
None of them have any. It's like the chance of you being a basketball player is like 1 in a million. Same with the music industry because
Actually,
they're
I
both
think it's
competitive.
about. I think it's
Well,
about.
But to be
back in
honest,
the
but to be honest, I feel that a lot of them feel that way because that's what I feel like a lot of people that grow up in like like families that have limited resources. One of the biggest things, or the biggest thing that most people are exposed to is music and sports. For somebody who's poor, they can still listen to music and they can still play sports. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of like, if you look at the music industry, it's especially with hip hop. I mean, it's a black dominated industry. Same thing with basketball, and it's like they feel that's what I got to do to make it. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody else in the family saying that you can do something else.
Exactly, and I agree with that. And I told these kids, I honestly told them, I said, I want to give y'all some reality. It's I told the kids, I was like, you got to think it's 30 teams, only 400 slots in the NBA, 400 and something slots in the NBA,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's only about maybe double or triple that in the NFL.
Yes.
And
What
the
are you
sad
gonna
thing is
do?
too. I mean, think about it. And I am not ragging. I'm a big fan of hip hop. I'm a big fan of like the older hip hop though, like Wu-Tang Clan, Cypress Hill. Back, I'm not with this. I seen Snoop Dogg make fun of it on one of his. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I'm not really big on that. He was talking with G Unit on that episode. Yeah.
I got 8 kids because I ain't used no lifestyle.
Like I think like a lot of this I don't want to say hip hop, a lot of the gangster rap is glorifying killing people. And it's like it's a big part of that culture. A big part of that culture is taking the motherfucker out that's trying to tear you down. And it's like it sells. I mean, you can't. I mean, if something sells, hey, keep selling it. But a lot of people keep buying into it, like that's the life that they gotta live. Like they gotta be about that life, and inevitably, if they don't have the right guidance, nobody's there to tell them that. Look, that's just a fantasy. A lot of rappers will come out and telling you, man, I'm just rapping.
Oh yeah.
Hey, brother, let me speak on that. So the other day I was thinking, and I thought this a long time ago, but I pondered on it again. Other day I was thinking, I said, hey, and I'm gonna give you an example of this. I say it gotta be somehow, some way that people are being reached with this message, killing each other, and it's cool. And I'm like, I wonder how people in California doing the same thing that people in Cleveland doing, shooting each other, gang banging, stuff like that. Then I thought about it, and I say it's the music. I say the music is what's the message that got the same culture going around. See, it was Bloods and Crips in LA. It wasn't no Bloods and Crips in New York. Unless if it went for the media and TV and movies like Colors and stuff like that, people in New York wouldn't only heard about what Bloods and Crips was by somebody that went and took a trip to LA. You get what I'm saying by word of mouth. But by the TV and stuff, it spread it. And we just keep on pumping into it in the BET Awards. And, it's kind of like we feed it's like we
And
keep
fuel to that
putting
fire.
gasoline, we add gasoline and fuel to the machine that's eating us up.
I
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
got some add to that. Like
But
it got so bad out there that you got 13, 14, 15-year-olds. They all got a body on them right now before they lost their virginity. Like it got like kids being murdered at school, being killed at school, and being killed.
just yesterday, around the corner from me, two teenagers got shot in the shootout.
Oh,
On the 4th of July, I lost two of my good friends
Wow.
two of my good friends due to gun violence or whatever.
This 4th of
One
July.
of them, yeah, this 4th of July, one of
Oh
them just
man.
got shot. Um, basically, it was a shootout at the dice game. He wasn't the intended target, but he got hit in the head. The other
Okay.
guy, this stuff supposed to have been over a girl, and dude shot up his brother's car, and he went on the vengeance and tried to catch the guy. And the
Oh,
guy was with a couple of his friends, and all his friends had pistols, and I lost the shootout. But at the end of the day, it's like stupid, and it's something that's given us this mentality,
Mhm.
and we don't even see what it is. And we're gonna just keep on marching. We're gonna keep on praying. 2 weeks ago, yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago now. DJ Just J did a show on it where the little girl was shot in the head at a shootout. Group of guys was walking, and a group of guys was in the car, and a little girl got shot in front of a boxing gym here in
yeah.
Cleveland. And
can I
Oh
um
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the little
um
boys, the news lady. This was a funny interview because that white dude that was just standing there miscellaneous. She was the only dude that didn't have a mask on and stuff. But they were like, yeah, the kids getting shot is just a casualty of the war. Like, huh? That's your mentality?
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
Mhm.
You don't
can
even
I
You know
need
say
to
what?
be here.
something?
You know what? I'm gonna speak on that gun violence part because again, um, DJ being the big content bringer that he is, um, that he one of I want to say it was the video where the just recently, like 1 or 2 videos ago, where the mother and the 2 daughters were caught in the crossfire of a drive-by.
Right. Yep.
Um, we kind of drifted off on that video because a lot of stuff was being brought up about the church and all of that. But there was one thing that I caught that nobody else really spoke on, and I wanted to speak on it. But again, those chat boxes only allow 200 characters, man. But here's the thing: a lot of people were saying they were blaming like either the government or the police or whoever. They were blaming um, uh, the state or whatever for quote unquote dropping off gun crates in the hood, right?
Mhm.
They're like, okay, so here's my logic, real quick. A lot of people were saying it's their fault because they're bringing the guns they're bringing the guns, and people are finding them and shooting them. Here's a crazy concept that I wanted to bring up. Where does it say in your DNA that if you find a crate of guns that you have to use them to kill people? Why can't you just report them? You know
Thank
what I mean?
you.
Like, people are using the argument that, well, man, they keep on they keep on bringing the guns to the black neighborhoods, and that's why we have all of these shootings. No, the reason, I mean, if that was true, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't. I've never seen a crate or a video of a crate dropped off, but let's just agree that it is true. How hard is it to call the police and say, hey, man, there's a crate full of guns here. Somebody needs to come pick them up before they get used for the wrong purpose. So
Let me tell you,
by that person stating that it's their fault that they're bringing it's their fault, it's the state's fault that the communities are killing each other. By that logic, you're saying that whoever is finding those guns is incapable of being human being, and not like they're saying that it's in their nature to naturally just want to kill
Right.
somebody.
And that and
And I
that
don't
was
believe
that.
accountability.
that.
Hold on. That was my point. Jason Gunn, are you still with us, bro? Because I think he was the one that actually picked us up on that show that we did.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You want to chime in on that?
Um,
Because I think that actually picks up right exactly where you wanted to talk about.
yeah, I asked a question a couple of shows ago. Somebody kept saying that people are dropping off crates of guns and drugs and this and that. And I kept asking the guy or whoever it might have been, where's the proof of it? Show a video, and there's no such thing. It's just another excuse. But I've been like patiently waiting, and I didn't want to interrupt anybody because I want y'all to have y'all say. But since I'm talking now, I got a couple of things I'd like to say. First off, Hispanic is not a race. It's not a race. We only have 5 races on this earth.
It's an ethnicity.
It's an ethnicity. It's not a race. So I want to kill that from earlier. The second thing I want to say is the hood actually failed the system because the hood was put in place as a temporary means to get back on your feet, not a permanent thing. So the hood failed the system. The system was in place to help people get back on their own. The hood was created by people that decided to stay permanently on the system and use that as an excuse not to get ahead.
Okay, I can go with that.
Also, I also want to talk about gangs. No matter how you look at it, gangs are bad. Gangs are not good for nothing. They don't improve no city streets. They don't do cleanups.
Nope.
They don't help families get better. They actually break families up and they destroy neighborhoods. There's no such thing as a good gang. If you want to join a good gang, go be a Boy Scout or go join the military. I don't believe, because I used to be the gang intel brief guy for the state of Colorado. The state of Colorado, not the city of Colorado Springs, the state for the military. I used to be the gang intel guy. And gangs are not good. They're not good at all. And if your children or your family members are involved in gangs, you have failed your family members by not trying to guide them in a proper way. I don't believe in being a mentor. I'm not going to allow, I'm not going to be a mentor because I'm not going to give you an excuse to continue to have babies out of wedlock. Go get that child's father and let that child be that father's mentor. Let that mentor be that child's father. Don't be going out here in the community trying to find mentors. Excuse my language, and if you don't like it, sorry. Don't go out in the neighborhood for your bastard ass children. Try to find a man to raise them. Go get that father that you laid down with and open your legs with, or that man that had a baby by some chick and ran away because he doesn't want the responsibility of being a father. Hey, y'all got to stop doing that. Stop making that as an excuse and talk about let's go mentor the neighborhood. Damn that. Mentor your own damn kids. Because if you can't qualify to have a child, through the adoption agency, then you shouldn't be having a kid. And that was said on Tommy's show by, I think, Tommy Guns, I believe, on the show. So I'm not going to take that quote. But all of these excuses about why this is that. Hey, when I turned 18, my mother said, you got to go find out how to be a man. I can't teach you. I joined the military. That's how I became a man. I don't want to hear all of this crap. I did not go back to New Jersey because it was a crap hole. I left New Jersey. I never went back. And all my friends are either dead or just getting out of prison today. I didn't go back and jump back into the garbage after I left out of the garbage. Why would I clean myself up to get myself dirty again? That doesn't make any sense. And all of you guys that are living in all of these badass cities, with all of this killing stuff going on, I'm going to say this because I said this last time. In the last 10 years, the black people, because I don't know about any other race, black people have fallen 3%, and that's in 10 years. So the next 30 years will be 3% of this nation. So y'all keep up the good work and keep doing it. And don't worry about the government. They love you, dude. They love you doing the killing on killing. That's great. So y'all keep up the good work. And if you continue to live in these cities and we sit on boards and keep talking about it, and we're not actually going out and doing anything, that means going to talk to the drug dealer. Hey, Get off my damn block selling dope. That's talking to the gangbangers. Hey, get out my neighborhood. Start telling on people instead of graduating people to higher elevations so they can just kill more of your people in your neighborhood.
Or stop putting the blame on other people. You know, it's like your community's messed up. You don't want to do anything about it, but you call the cops, but yet the cops are, I guess, part of the problem, and you're calling them at the same time.
No, see, the problem is you got to stop calling the cops without evidence.
Right.
That's the problem. You got all of these cameras. Everybody got a camera. Everybody want to take video of the fights. Don't nobody want to take video of the gangbangers on the street selling dope to every car that stops.
Nobody wants to get caught snitching. That's
okay.
See, now, all that snitching stuff. That's why your neighborhood. But that's what I'm saying. The snitches get stitches, all this and all that. But that's why your neighborhoods are trash because you don't want to tell.
The neighborhood has to stand up. It needs to.
You ain't coming in my neighborhood with that crap. I'm not gonna let you come in my neighborhood.
I was gonna say something.
I'm a snitch. Do not. Here's my rules. Do not get in my car with anything, because I'm gonna tell. Because I don't want to go to jail. I'm 4 feet 11 inches. I'm not trying to be in no prison, no big bitches. I'm sorry. So I mean, don't come to my house with nothing. Police run up in my house. Oh, you're going to jail because I didn't ask you to bring it up in my house anyway. You know
and then you got the other reality.
And that's the problem with our community.
And then you got the other reality. The police don't protect anybody. And I get it. I mean,
no, they just respond after the fact.
No, but this is the thing, though. This is where I was going.
Hold on.
So let me just correct you right quick.
Hold on.
The police are not supposed to protect people.
Hold on. Do me a favor, guys. Like whenever you capture the floor, try to keep your points short so that way people can interject and chime in whenever they're ready. So that way we don't talk over each other. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on.
This is all I was gonna say about the thing with snitching. I get, you gotta look at the reality, because a lot of us that talk about it, they don't live there. You got Miss old lady Miss Daniels that might have seen such and such selling dope, but if she go tell, guess what happens? The police, it said the police supposed to serve and protect, but they ain't gonna protect her. She can't move out. They ain't even trying to give her the resources to move out. So guess what happened? Guess whose name comes up on that? Because it's called one thing, and everybody forgets to talk about that. It's called due process. Because the defendant has the right to see who said what about him. That's where it comes from. It ain't the fact of you got different types of people. You talk about snitching. Now snitching, the way I define it is this: if me and you is pulling the same caper, or me and the other guy down the street is pulling something within the same caper of illegal activity, if I tell on him, I'm wrong for telling. Then I'm a snitch. I ain't a snitch if I tell on something that I ain't do.
I was gonna say the people that's doing it. I was gonna say the people that's doing the snitching is the same dudes in the streets. I ain't gonna say no name, but this one guy got busted, and the name of his investigation was Operation Iron Chef. Man, this man came home in about 4 years. And he's doing his thing again. So all I'm saying is, dude, something going on. Like,
be like, how they
the people that doing the snitching is the same dudes that's doing the shooting. They doing the shooting, then they telling on each other. They breaking their houses, getting caught, telling on each other. They selling dope, telling on people, setting them up, buying drugs, all type of stuff. So at the end of the day, these same street dudes ain't tough. Man, I was listening to Judge Joe Brown interview. Man, trust and believe me, these lawyers, they know what these dudes do. Every last one of them be telling. You might got twos and fews that ain't gonna do their time. But that's twos and fews out of thousands.
Mhm.
But see, I have a different opinion about all of it. Everybody says snitching. Okay, I'm not in the gang. I can't tell you what goes on within the gang. But what goes on within the gang, like Jason Gunn said, it's no good regardless. But by me not being in the gang, and I don't want to risk my freedom, I don't want to risk my well-being. I stay away from stuff like that. I
Right.
try to teach my son that, but unfortunately, like everyone saying, why didn't you move away from the neighborhood that you was living in? Well, I moved away from a bad neighborhood. I went to the suburbs. I got my son in a good school of science. Do everyone understand? And right now, I'm fighting amongst my son having mental problems and stuff like that. I'm fighting against him learning stuff in the streets that I tried to hide from him within my own family from a whole different state because it was exposed to him from a relative. So, yes, I took my steps to protect my children, but a relative from a different state exposed my own son.
Mhm.
And you know what I did? I called the fucking police because I wasn't going to have it in my house.
That's real.
So now, me and my son, we're working back to where we was. So these gangs are tough. When someone can come from a different state and your own child can still get involved in that, yeah, I'm passionate about this.
Where's your son's father?
My son's father is deceased.
Does your father, did the father have brothers?
Um, biologically, my son's father was the only boy child. His mom had other children, but his mom
Okay, you don't
was
have to
brother.
go on. I give that to you. Most of the time that's not the case, but I give that to you.
Right. My
I do
son is
apologize.
biracial.
That's okay.
And, you know,
I'm good. I just had to ask the
um,
question.
and me, I'm going to tell you my story. I am going to school right now for social services, not to take people's children, but to help these children.
Mm-hmm.
So, young black men, young white men, I don't see a color barrier. Young men, period, need help. Women get all the help. Think about it.
Yes. Totally
If
true.
you all was to go right now and tell the government, I need help, I'm starving, I need a home, are they going to help you?
The answer is no.
No.
Nope.
But if a woman do it, she's going to get tons of options. So yes, I'm very
You're saying a
Wait,
passionate
woman.
wait, wait.
about
Hold
that.
on. Let me throw out a statistic that y'all have heard Tommy say before, but let's bring it up since we're at that point. When we talk about getting help, how many of you guys know that the majority of the homeless people in the United States of America are almost entirely comprised of men?
Men.
Yeah, I knew that.
Mhm.
That's absolutely true.
You just
I
watch
live literally about a block and a half away from a homeless shelter on Harrison Street. If you're from Chicago, you probably know where I'm talking about. I drive by that thing all the time. I've noticed like about 95% of the people in there are
Are men.
homeless black men, couple of white
Hmm.
guys, and maybe 2 or 3 women.
But
Out of that
but
whole group of like maybe 70 people hanging out in front of the shelter waiting to open up, I've never seen more than like 5
I
women.
think I know what you're talking about, Rick. I think I know what you're
let's
talking.
take race
It's right.
out of
Yep.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say men, period.
Okay.
Men, period. No one wants to help men with mental health. No one wants to help men with homes. No one wants to help men with anything in this world.
Because according to society, men should be able to help themselves, and there's also supposed to help the women. Like from what I see, like
Right.
it's very weird. We're in a very confusing era right now because right now we're in an era where women are crying, or not, I'm gonna say crying. Excuse me. Women are pretty much fighting for equality, equal rights.
No. They are crying.
Okay,
Hey, look.
All right.
You know, you said it right the first goddamn time. They're crying because they ain't fighting for shit. What they're
Let's take it
doing.
back.
So, okay.
Hey,
right.
look, what they're doing.
They're
Hey,
crying
cause see,
for it.
I'm a woman, and I feel for men nowadays. I'm sorry. How the heck is you gonna tell me? And don't get me wrong. If you've been raped or you've been molested, okay, you come out, you say that. My limit is gonna be 5 years for a grown woman, not a child. Okay, not a child. So don't no one misquote me. Not a child.
Mhm.
But if you tell me that during the age that you're trying to be a model and you're sucking dick to come up, I mean, you're sucking dick to come up, you're doing everything you were trying to do to come up in society, to be an actress, a model, or whatever. You're telling me that old ass, a 1,000,000-year-old Bill Cosby is getting 30 years of prison? That never should happen.
Mm-mm.
That is basically off of some old bitter bitches who really did not get their shot in life. And I'm sorry to say that. Whatever women don't like that, you know what? You can kiss the fan because we all know 30 years, you cannot go legally and say a man raped you.
And it's all allegation, no real evidence.
Right. And ever since this Me Too movement started, every woman and their mama came out. But how many men is these same women looking for who've been through the same damn thing?
I have a question.
Look
Wait.
at
Hold on.
that. Look at the.
Hold on. I have a question. Name me one thing, one movement, one program, one law that gives men vindication when they're done wrong by anybody.
None that I can think of.
Innocent Project?
Not a one.
I'm sorry. What was the question
Not a
again?
one.
The Innocent Project? Is that one?
I could agree to that.
The Innocence Project is hard to get
But see,
into.
do you know who actually
But
is
wait,
in the Innocence Project?
But this is the cold part. And sorry, Josh, go ahead. Because you hadn't talked in a while. Go ahead, bro.
If I'm not mistaken, most of the people that fund the Innocence Project are a bunch of white women and Jews.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about getting people out of jail that should not be in jail. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you think about this, do you guys know that the majority of rapes that happen to men and boys?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Okay.
That is actually true.
So why don't you have any men that are coming out and saying, "Hey, me too. I've been raped by somebody that was a powerful woman."
Because I don't think people would believe it.
Just Terry Crews, because no dude's gonna actually go to
I'm a
broadcast.
woman, and I'll answer that.
They
You wanna know why?
laughed at him.
They will laugh. And because some of these men are still sexually attracted to women, they do not want not one woman saying you're gay or you're a faggot. I'm sorry to use that word, but that's what a lot of women would say to a man if they found out he was raped.
But if y'all
And
realize
They
it,
would tell him to suck it up. You're a man.
Yes,
Suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you're a rape?
But when they get mad at him, they'll throw it right back in his face too.
But here's the difference. If it was done by a woman, everyone would laugh. If it was done by a man, everyone would say that man was gay.
Let me tell you something. This is one thing that I don't like about these movements, because number one, we're doing this thing where we're claiming and we're saying, well, we're doing all these things to make it fair for women. I was actually getting ready to do a story. I'm kind of waiting for my brother Tommy to take it on because I don't want to do it prior and and not have its full pizzazz that I feel like it needs, because it's something he's been talking about for a long time with regard to the WNBA. But when we're talking about equality, it's funny how we are bringing forth these Me Too movements because we're trying to promote equality, gender equality, and all of this stuff. And you know, it's essentially a wealth transfer from men to women, especially for powerful men. So what's going to happen if there are men out there like your Terry Crews or anybody else that had the same exact thing happen to them at some point in their life? If they come out and they say it happened to me, and let them win a $25 million civil lawsuit against a woman, and what do you think is going to happen? And keep in mind, I said civil, not criminal, because ain't none of this shit been charged criminally.
Right.
They've all been charged civilly, and they all have been sued civilly. So what if a man comes out and let's just say, hey, this woman sexually assaulted this dude 26 years ago, and he comes out and this man wins a $26 million judgment?
He's lying. That's not fair. That didn't happen.
Right.
Do you think that they're going to try to repeal these so-called movements at that point when men start to use the exact? That's the cold part about it, and that's why people need to step up and recognize when things just aren't fair. Because when men start to play the game and they fucking start winning, then you want to. It's kind of like the terminology. I hate when they say moving the goalposts, but that's essentially what it is. Would y'all agree?
Maybe men should.
Yeah.
And then what bugs me a lot is that this Me Too movement, and you've all noticed it. It started a nasty trend. I don't know if you guys heard about a couple months ago. You know that what is he? I believe he's Indian. That comedian Aziz Ansari. You guys heard about his situation?
No, what happened?
I haven't heard about it, but what happened?
He pretty much went out on a date. He went out with a girl. I think she was like a colleague. That's usually how it happens in Hollywood. You know, it's somebody that they knew from a set or some kind of function that they were at. He went out on a date with her, and it pretty much led to sex at the end of the day. It was a date. It was dinner, drinks, and then they went to his hotel room. Now, he didn't force her. He didn't drug her or whatever. Pretty much in her interview or in her statement, she said that he made her do a lot of things that made her feel uncomfortable, but she did them anyway. She pretty much felt uncomfortable, but didn't say anything. Now, it's still unfortunate. Yeah, nobody should be put in an uncomfortable situation, but if you did not say anything, it shouldn't be up to the man to physically read your mind like he's some kind of Professor X, and oh my God, if I tell you to do something to me that I find, arousing, and you do it, I didn't commit a crime. So if you did it, but you didn't like it, and then the next day you write a statement, and at the end of it you say #MeToo, pretty much his image has now been tainted because he hasn't been charged with anything, but he will forever be on the internet as part of the #MeToo movement.
Right.
And what bugs me is that she tried to sue him for that, and that's what I think, because ever since then I've noticed the Me Too, other than the Bill Cosby thing, the Me Too movement hasn't really had much momentum after that, because a lot of people were saying that the Me Too movement is starting to become very perverted. Like everything is starting to rate a #Me Too now.
Yep.
And
well, the Me Too movement.
What bugs me is that when these women claim that they're raped and they really weren't, nothing happens to them. They just ruin somebody's life.
Absolutely.
And now those women get to go on living whatever. All that guy now, whoever the man is now going to be known as a person who pretty much just beat the case.
Yep.
Not necessarily that he's innocent. He just beat the case. He didn't. You know what I mean?
Doesn't equal money.
What were you going to
Yeah,
say?
the Me Too movement is all about. The Me Too movement is all about getting money. It's not about. It's not about righting the wrong. It's all about getting the money and the fame. Because if you really look at what's going on, all of these cases, with a few exceptions, I mean, it's like going into court without any evidence.
Yep.
You can't win in court. You can't win in court without evidence in a normal courthouse. But these women are coming up 20, 30 years later. They have no evidence. They have nothing to substantiate. Only they have their word against the person's word. They can't prove anything. Yep. And I blame this on most of the men that are in the courthouse that allowed this to happen, that actually promoted this years ago. And it's the men of the court that have done this. It's not the women, because women, you're not equal to men and you never will be. The mere fact we protect women, you cannot protect a man. And I know why you're not equal to men in the United States, because you don't have to sign up for the draft, and we do. So you're not equal to men. You never will. So stop crying about you're not getting the same pay, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Go open up your own business and see how that works out. If you're that good, go open your own business. Stop saying women are equal to men. It's not true. I'm a police officer. It will take 2 to 4 women to take one man and put him in handcuffs. It takes 1, maybe 2 guys to put a man in handcuffs, because when that guy sees that man, he's going to buck down. He's going, okay, I'm okay, especially if the cop is big. If there's a woman going out to make an arrest, the whole section's going to show up to help her, because we all know who she is. We all know she's 5'4", 115 pounds wet, but she wanted to be a cop because she felt as though she had equal rights. Sometimes in every profession that don't work. That don't work. It just don't work. Women are not building anything. Women do not own anything in America. All they do is support and help. And if women were more into their role, more tuned into what they're supposed to be doing and not what they're not supposed to be doing, we wouldn't have a lot of these problems today. Women decide, other than rape and incest, we're not even going to throw that in the mix. Women decide who they're going to be in a relationship with. It's a woman's decision. They make the decision of who they're going to lay down with and have children with.
And
it's ridiculous, because we all know this. We know if you don't have a driver's license, you can't go out and drive a car. So why do you do it? You think something's going to change. It's not going to change. Women are not going to be equal to men. They never will. They're never going to be. So stop thinking about it. All this feminism, it happened in the black community between the years of 1940 and 1950. Where black women thought that they were like white women, when white women are above black men. It ain't going to happen for you, sweetheart. You can call, yell, scream, and do whatever you want, but it ain't going to happen. You're lower than we are. You're not more educated. You just go to school more, and you write up more school debt.
Oh my God!
Men go to school, and they go to school to learn something, because most men want to have a prominent family. Me personally, I had to start my generation with me, my ex-wife, and my daughter. That's my generation. My family, they're still there, don't get me wrong, love them to death, but it is what it is. My daughter starts my family. My generation, where my great-great-great-grandchildren will go back and say, hey, Granddad Jason was a cop and he used to kick ass. That's right, because my daughter's going to tell them the story, and it's going to ride through. Women have to get back in their damn place and be what they're supposed to be. If you want to be a housewife, that's fine. Marry you a man that can take care of you and that you can stay a housewife. If you are single, if you get a baby, if you have a baby, see, there's no such thing as a mistake child. Women have too much birth control. It's like 12 to 1 of ours. So there's no excuse about a woman having a child out of wedlock when there's free birth control. You take your ass to the club, take your ass to the clinic. Go get an abortion. Stop bringing these kids in the world and then killing them because you don't like the man. I'm tired of seeing that. Tired of hearing about it.
Or
the women keep doing it, and the women don't sit other women down and tell them that crap is wrong. They want to come on here and they want to talk about how bad guys are and all these guys do this and they do that. Get on your other female counterparts and start telling them that they're doing wrong and they need to stop.
Wait.
Do that.
Hey, hold on.
Jason with the belt. Jason with the belt.
That's a hell of a mic drop moment right there, man. Golly.
Jason with the
He been
belt.
playing with the fire, didn't he?
Golly. Man.
He been sitting in the background just waiting for that fire to come.
I could not say a word. I was like, sheesh.
Me either.
My boy's
I'm like Jesus on the cross, not saying a mumbling word.
Right, he was preaching.
I'm
Preach
like,
the
Jesus.
house, bro. I'm listening.
Man.
Hey, Jason, how hard you sweating right now, man? Cause
Jason for president 2020.
Right.
Nah, dog. Cause see, when them fools start talking about me threatening my family, I'm going to find their ass, and I ain't scared to go to prison. I can't do what Tommy does. I can't do what DJ does and Brian does. I respect them for what they are. I get on, I support their platform. I support them all financially, and I support them verbally. I come on, I join, and this is what I do. If we want to be this community to try to do something right, let us really get out there and start hitting these hard targets with some good ammo. Instead of sitting here talking about it, let's go out here and hit these targets and stop. Oh, well, it wasn't in my neighborhood. Or well, I don't want to tell on them because that's Margaret Ann's sister, son, grandbaby's nephew's daddy's mama's sister's brother. No, all of them need to die or go to jail. I keep saying we need to have a war in the black community. We need to have a physical or a mental war in the black community, and we need to get rid of these in people. We need to get rid of them.
Wait, hey, because
in order to have that physical war, you gotta have that mental.
It's like a steak when you cut off the fat. It's like killing the cancer cells in the body. Because the niggas is destroying the black folks that want to do something, making us terrorize. They need to go in their own little area and do their thing and leave us alone.
Brielle is actually 100% right, because how many times have you guys heard me say that niggas are cancerous to black people? Plenty of times.
Chris Rock did it. Chris Rock did a comic thing about it in 1996, Blacks versus Niggas.
Yes, he did. Let me address these two things real quick, because I don't want to keep you guys too long, because I got a special surprise coming up for you third shifters, because we're gonna have some more stuff coming up. Don't give it away yet, because I'm gonna tell them here in a minute.
Take it, man.
Melanin Express said, so it's earlier in the chat, Melanin Express. So I'm reading the chat now. I didn't get a chance to see all of it, but she said, so if he's abusive, just stay with him. And I wanted to answer that question for you. This is the difference, because we're talking about marriages and families, and statistics actually prove that women are more abusive to men than men are to women. So knowing again that women have the ability to choose the man, the woman's body is like a house. You choose
autonomy.
You choose to, like, it's your body, your choice. It's your house. You have the ability to either open the door and let people in, or close the door and not let people in. If they choose to bust down your doors, then you have recourse because you are protected by men, right? Now, there was something somebody else said in the chat, and I wanted to address it if I can freaking find it. Hold on. God dang it. Because I didn't want there to be a lull in the conversation, because, man, Jason hit it hard. Yes.
Jason with the belts.
Okay, now.
I think he won this tonight.
Because
WWE belt goes to Jason.
At some point, we're going to have to get Afro on one of these panels, because like I said, I think that, we just need to have some of these conversations, because one of the things he said that a woman raised and nurtured us, gave us love, confidence, and motivated men to build society. Right. As family units. But if you're talking about a woman is independent, a woman has her own car, her own house, her own money, her own this and own that, the kids belong to her and all this and that, then you have to also understand this. When Tommy says things like children aren't nurtured by their mothers, they're usually surviving their mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah.
They're usually surviving their households. That's not nurturing because I'm a big person on words. And what we have to do is we have to just pay attention to the words that we use. So if we're going to say raised and nurtured, well, you're supposed to raise. That is part of your responsibility for having a kid. It's almost kind of like I hate hearing parents tell their children when they say, I raised you, I put clothes on your back and food on the table. Well, you didn't have you didn't have no
Charizard Ali said that that's not raising the child, that's maintaining the child.
That's exactly say it again,
And
Brielle.
she was taught, and she didn't say a cuss word. Yet they're getting mad at Tommy for saying the exact same thing that
Shahrazad
Ali said.
Say, hey, Brielle, can you say that again? Say it
when
again
it
real
comes
quick.
to Black mothers, I am one, and I can speak from experience. A lot of our children is going through mental breakdown moments from us.
Of course.
Because in the Black community, for whatever reason, everybody want to go to the church and tell their problems. What the hell is the church gonna do?
No.
Nothing.
No.
If you're suffering from depression or bipolar or schizophrenia, the church cannot do nothing for you or your children. But the Black community is so proud. Women will walk around knowing they crazy as hell and they take it out on their children. And then what happens? The children become survivors. Just like in what? World War I or II.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So most of these children is just surviving, like everybody's saying. And I feel like this: if you know your children surviving, there's always someone out there to help you. Reach out for that help.
Yeah, my whole thing is I don't understand why we just get to a point to where we just accept the bare basics and sometimes even less than that. Like that's the standard. Like the bar is so low. And I've said that on this, on this platform plenty of times, is that blacks, we set the bar very low. So it's like I like the bar to be set a lot higher so that way we have something more that we can achieve. So even if you don't reach the bar, if it's set really high, then it puts you in a much more advantageous position in order to win in life.
Yeah.
Well, now
I said this as a 20-year-old black male.
Hold on.
I said
hold on, Josh. Hold that thought. Guys, we're getting ready to wrap up. What we're going to do is we're going to go down the panel. I'm going to start with Josh. Hold your point. We're going to start with Josh, and I'm going to give everybody a chance to give their closing thoughts. We're going to wrap up. So, Josh, go ahead and say what you were going to say, and then we'll go on to the next person.
All right. So, out of all the things that we said about the black community, I realized that even as a 20-year-old that's growing up to a man, I realized that the black community is ran by three things: mediocrity, stupidity, and inferiority. And that's kind of sad.
Did you want to close this out with anything else?
I want to say I want to say thank you guys, everybody who came on the chat for the late Sunday night. I can't believe I stayed up this late, but hey. So I hope we can have these more have conversations like this again in the future. So
absolutely, like I say, if we have to go back to the old school, go back to our roots on the Soto Yadig and doing panels, man, I'd be more than happy to. More than happy to.
All right.
Like I say, my whole thing is just trying to make sure and just bring a little diversity, break up the monotony and, try to get us some consistent content here at the channel, So anyway.
Right.
Let me see. Let me go with my guy. Let's go with Rick and then we'll go to LaMarcus. Oh God, did I say that right? LaMarcus TV?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll go Jason, Brielle, and then we'll close out with my sister Bodacious. So Rick Rooster, you want to go ahead and give us your closing thoughts?
Honestly, given everything that's going on, I think everybody, all the communities, can pretty much agree on that. The biggest part of to trying to, find a solution to the problem is rather than trying to point the finger at why you are where you are, how about literally just, try to, how can I say it? Stop trying to find somebody to blame for the problem and just find the solution. You know what I mean? Everybody's really everybody's getting really tired of this whole predicament. You know, I could like this whole thing that especially that is going on in Chicago. Just like I'm sorry, I just made myself laugh. Just like I'm thinking of that video that Tommy did a while back with that the old grandfather that was on the video, like, we tired of hearing it.
It was funny as fuck.
We tired.
We're tired.
Crimson Tide.
You know, I mean, like, I'm honestly really just tired of, like, you know, everybody just pointing a finger at the problem and not trying to find a finger to point at the solution. You know, I mean, I can't tell you exactly what the solution is. I'm a human being. I don't have the answer, but
Right.
I can tell you one of the biggest answers isn't just blaming somebody and expecting somebody else to fix that problem. You got to fix your own situation. And until people find the will to fix their own situation, they're going to be stuck and tired in their own, you know, in their situation. And unfortunately, that's how their life is going to end. You know, so, you know, look for the solution and stop trying to find the reason for the problem.
Thank you very much for I am in tears. I'm sorry, literally in tears.
I'm about to cry.
I'm assuming all of y'all saw that video.
Yes, we saw that video.
Oh my god!
I still think about it sometimes. Like when we go back and watch it, I'm like, that is so awesome.
It's still on his website. So.
Oh my god, you have got awesome timing, Rick Rooster. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry, y'all. Jesus.
But thanks for having me, DJ, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. You come back anytime. That is a great way to end the show. Oh my god. Okay, now let me see if we can let me see. LaMarcus, TV, you want to go ahead and give us your closing thoughts?
Oh yeah, man. I just want hey Rick Rooster, keep passing one of them squares, bro, because I'm getting being Nicky right now.
I got you, bro. Just come on by.
But yeah, man, I want to say, man, I hope a lot of people like learn something from this who are watching. I enjoy it. This is my first time on a Soto panel, and I liked it. It was pretty nice hearing all these different opinions and stuff. And I don't think I say, man, about the community, people need to have a higher moral ground on shit. You know what I'm saying? Because these people, they're killing each other and defending the killer. Like, bro, you really want that motherfucker around you? I start by guessing it's a force of habit.
Oh, you good? You good?
You really want this person around you, your family, you know, and this dude's a murderer now. But again, I say is, you know, everybody needs a higher moral ground on, higher moral stance on stuff to just take that into the community and learn to live a better life. And since this is my closing statement, I'm hungry right now, so I'm about to go to Taco Cabana. So y'all have a good night.
All right.
Oh my God.
I'm a joker by heart, so I can't help it.
Oh my God, he sounds just like me over there.
Oh.
Dude, this is awesome. I love you guys, man. I'm gonna have to have y'all on every panel. Jesus. Oh,
yes, that would be awesome.
Oh my goodness, man. All right, let me see. Let's go, brother Jason Gunn. You want to give us your closing thoughts?
Yep. If anybody like what I said, kiss my ass.
Now I don't like it.
Oh man.
Thank you for having me, DJ.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't like what I said, kiss my ass.
Hey.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh.
Okay.
That person know who I'm talking to too.
I knew exactly.
That message went directly to that person.
We ain't gonna say no names.
No. They know who they know who they are. I don't have to say no now.
Right.
You like they know who they
Oh,
And this photo got them on blast too, though.
There's a reason There's a reason why my name is Jason Gunn. If you can't figure that out, then you just a fool.
Oh, oh, okay.
Ooh, man.
Okay.
All right, man. Let me try to get my wits back together here. Brielle, you want to give us your closing thoughts, and then we'll close out with Sister Bodacious.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Closing thoughts. At the end of the day, in order to fix things, I believe that we need to deal with the facts and not opinions and beliefs. I believe that nature corrects herself. So you just start with the simple truths that you would start to build and discover other truths. Um, and I look at things like this. You got real problems, and then you got artificial problems. In nature, starvation is really an artificial problem, unless it's like a drought in the land or something like that. But all these hungry people, homeless people today, because of the way that we live, and it's not the way how nature and reality wanted it. In relationships, you got um like people can't even get along in relationships because you don't post a picture up on social too much of their picture on Instagram and Facebook. Those are artificial problems in a relationship. And when people come to me and ask me for advice or things like that, I just simply tell them, look, them problems really don't exist in nature. And our grandparents did have these problems, and they was able to stay together years, 50 years, 40 years, 35 years. You get what I'm saying? So um, at the end of the day, my point is, if we just start with the facts, not opinions, not beliefs, that we would correct ourselves as a people. And that's it. Y'all be safe out there. Increase these,
And you as
stop the
well.
violence, and that's it.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Brielle. And last but not least, Sister Bodacious, you want to go ahead and give us your closing thoughts?
I guess my last words would be is this. Um, we do need to protect our children. Dog cat. I'm sorry, y'all. But we also need to start protecting the man too, because believe it or not, our men is like seriously dying at an increasing rate. Yeah, I've been drinking, sorry y'all. But it's like being on this panel tonight, it really has shown me that there are men out here who do still care about what's going on. So like it's like what, 5 of you now, 6 of you. If it was like 30 times, 40 times more who really cared about what was going on, it would be awesome.
Cool. All right. All right, guys. Well, that concludes the show. I definitely appreciate you guys coming through, man. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, and I'm about to put the link to Tommy's show because he is actually live right now. So when you guys go over there, for the last 100 people that are still here, when you go over to his show, he's at all Tommy and then Sotomayor. I'll put the link in the chat, and I want you guys to go over there and say, hey, we're coming over from the Yadig, and then give him a thumbs up over there. So that way, I'm looking forward to the show. So I need somebody to close us out. I need Rick Rooster to give us one more. Give me one more.
Go ahead, Rick.
Give me one more.
We tired.
Closing time.
That's what he said.
We're tired of hiding.
I'm tired.
Then he started making fun of his teeth. That was funny.
Oh my
It's
god,
so
man.
hard to say goodbye.
DJ, oh my god, are you good? Is this is there gonna be a link to this video right here, or is it gonna be on your channel, or is it like even say how is this gonna work, man?
It'll be.
I got some people to show this.
Yeah,
show
it'll be right here. It'll be right here.
All right, man, sounds good, dude.
I'm gonna replay
Hey,
it tomorrow.
young man, please remember, That young man that said that I smelled like fries when I was younger is currently spending 15 years of his life in jail, all because he didn't want to smell like fries and make $100. So always remember that message because 15 years your life is a lot.
Hey, look, hey, hold on.